We're live.
Hell yeah. All right, guys, we are back. Happy Sunday. I'm Matthew Barton. This is Matthew
Matthew Cano.
Cano.
Let's go.
Owners of Still Active for episode number 10. You know, we got something special for you guys. Today, we got a very special guest, Mr. Brennen Thompson, fitness guru, real estate investor,
Yes,
risk
sir.
taker,
Mm-hmm.
straight up great guy, entrepreneur. Here we go, guys. Let's get right into it.
The boys,
Let's
we're back.
go.
What's going on, boys? How we doing?
Good. How are you, sir?
I mean, after that intro, I'm feeling pretty good about myself. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
Shit.
Hell yeah.
He was spitting facts. What do you want? He was spitting facts.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Yeah, dude. So this is super exciting episode. This has been a long time coming. Barton listed off just a few of the incredible things that Brennan has going, and we've been very, very curious to tap into this brilliant mind. So yeah, we'll get right
Let's
into
go,
it.
boys.
All right. So, just something we wanted to touch on too, entrepreneurship, the real estate investing. Like, when did you realize that you wanted to get out of the 9 to 5, like the rat race? And what was your breaking point where you started to take action on that?
Oh, dude, hell of a question. So, it's kind of weird, dude. Like, I never really saw myself just having a 9 to 5. It's like kind of as weird as that sounds. Like, I can remember being like a 10-year-old kid and being like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that." So for me, I don't know. You know how it was throughout high school. I was like big into football and shit. I thought that was the ticket out. You go to college, things change. Kind of fell in love with business, and I don't know. You know how it goes when you start getting into business and things like that. It's more of like a hobby, more of an interest than actually like, hey, yeah, I've got a business. So I don't know. I got stuck in a 9 to 5 for a few years, and then after a while, I finally nutted up, so to speak, and ditched that thing and said, and just kind of really never looked back. So not any crazy kind of story or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's just typical entrepreneur journey.
Hell
All
yeah.
right. So this has been like a long-term thing. You said like around 10 years old, you were kind of just like, yeah, like I'm not really trying to do the whole 9 to 5 thing.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly, dude.
Right
Exactly.
on. Okay. So what was it that you did during your 9 to 5?
So, dude, I worked for a marketing and advertising agency. Like, I always make the joke that I was I was pushing condom ads to dudes with ED. Like that, that was like my joke. Like, that's how stupid that like the whole advertising world is. So I don't know, man. Like I got out of college and I put all my chips into football. Like I went to college to like drink beer, play football, and like talk to girls. Like that was my life for 4 years. So
Yeah,
I got
not a
out and dude, it was a great life. Don't get me wrong. It was a damn good life. But the problem was I put all my like eggs into the football basket, and then by the time I realized football wasn't really like my thing, I was just like, well, I mean, I got good grades, I made friends, but like this degree is pretty much fucking worthless. Like it's just like I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I didn't take any internships or do anything like that, so I graduated college, spent all this money on school, and ended up with a internship with a Walt Disney Company where I was a fucking janitor making $10.25 an hour. And I was like, just look at I can remember getting there the first day and being like, how the fuck did this happen? Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, so I ended up doing that for about 8 months, and then my friend and my current business partner, he had moved out to LA, got a job with a marketing and advertising agency out there. They're one of the best in the world. So he just kind of coached me through the process of what I need to say in the interviews, how to apply, how to get my resume cleaned up. And long story short, I just don't know how I sold these people on the dream, but I sold them on the dream of me coming in and making their life a little bit easier. And I ended up with a marketing and advertising agency for, I think I was there for like 3 years. I was jumping around at different companies, just trying to chase the bag. But that
Wow.
was my life, man. That's how it started.
Hell
Damn.
yeah. Where did you go to
Okay.
school?
I went to St. John Fisher College. It's now St. John Fisher University. I don't know. They should all be called university after you fucking pay 60 grand a year to go there. But that's another story for another
For
time.
sure, dude.
Yeah, you
I
ain't
don't know.
kidding.
I would have kept UC Utica College for sure. The UU is a little sus, but we'll let it slide, bro.
Yeah, for today we're feeling generous this morning, boys.
All right, cool. So would you say that you have used any of the skills that you picked up during your time, with the 9 to 5, like today, like in your current career or just in life in general?
I mean, it's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? Because like the 9 to 5, it's got goods and it's got bads. Like the goods that I took from it, I learned how to be professional real quick because you're on so many meetings. You're sending so many emails. Like I still remember my first boss. I would send emails and she would send them back to me and just like absolutely toast me on everything that I said. And I would be like, what the fuck? This sucks so bad. But like after a year, I ended up getting like really good at writing emails. So I took all of those skills, and as soon as I wanted to get into real estate or into some kind of business or anything like that, I easily transferred those skills into whatever the hell I was doing. So although I was a beginner and whatever the hell I was doing, I would get on the phone with a lender, and I knew how to talk. I knew how to present myself. If I had to send them an email, it was buttoned up. You know what I mean? Everything looked really, really clean. So that was the good. The bad, I guess, I mean, you waste a lot of time. Let me tell you that. Like throughout the day, it's just like, what the fuck am I doing? Like I said earlier, you're pushing counter mats to dudes with ED. Like you're not moving the ball forward. You're not making anybody's life really any better. So I don't know. Like I said, double-edged sword with the whole 9 to 5, which kind of left me a little bitter to it as well.
True. No, I can see that. I mean, but honestly, dude, you're still so young. And I mean, even now, I mean, how long has it been since you have been in the real estate game?
So, dude, I got bought our first property, and I think I was 23. So it's been a few years, but the growth with real estate is very, very slow. As you very well know, like real estate is pay to play, dude. Like if you don't got cash, you're gonna be in some trouble, or you better be very, very smart or very, very creative. So it's taken a bit of a minute to get here.
Yeah, dude, no, for sure. So with all that being said, what is your exact like real estate niche, and how did you fund and get started with your first property?
Oh, dude, killer questions. So, like low key, the niche is where we fucked up. Like when we got started in real estate, it's just like there's so many different avenues you can go down. You can go buy single family homes, you can Airbnb, you can do multifamily, you can wholesale. And for us, we were just like, holy shit, you know what I mean? It's like the shiny objects. And you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to do that. So we ended up doing flips. We did a flip. We did a couple of single family homes. We did burrs. We did Airbnbs, like small multifamily, large multifamily. Like if it's been done, like outside of wholesaling, we've probably done it, unfortunately. And like the master of, I think Stephen Knapp said it last time he was on. It's like the master of, you try to be a master of everything, you're a master of nothing. You know what I mean? So long story short, we just were like, kept getting kicked in the dick with all these different strategies. And we were like, well, why aren't these fucking working? You know? And we finally realized, well, in order to be good at something, like you got to put the reps in to get good at it. So having a single family home here that you're just long-term renting, and then having an Airbnb, and then trying to flip, and then trying to burr, like you're just so far, you're so spread thin that you can't actually get good at any of those things. So long story short, and this is what I've been doing over the course of the past year, we just pretty much liquidated almost everything we have. We had a lot of single family, small multis. We liquidated just about all of them. Kept one single family and one small multi just because they were good equity plays. They're not cash flowing too bad. Took all that money and now we're parlaying it into large multifamily, and we just finished our first large multifamily. And I guess that's the new niche for right now.
Let's go, dude. Yeah, I've been seeing your TikToks and shit. I mean, dude, it looked like a hell of a project.
Oh my God, dude, It was horrible. It was horrible. We like take the worst possible properties you could imagine. Those are the ones that we buy. Like if it's got a homeless person in it, we'll fucking buy it. We don't really care. Like if you got people that haven't paid in 2 years, we'll fucking buy it. We don't care.
Yeah, but you're seeing opportunity where most don't. And I think that like that's what's like, helping set you guys apart in this game.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And like that's the shit that people like to see. You know what I mean? Like it's easy to go look at fucking, like, I don't know, like Grant Cardone or someone like that and see these Class A buildings that he's buying, and you look at it and you're like, well, that's not realistic. But then most people are just like us, like they come from a small town, you know what I mean? Like the houses are 200 grand, 150 grand. They're usually pieces of shit. Like that's the shit that people can relate to. You know what I mean? So I think I found a pretty good niche, and it's all realistic, you know?
Yeah, no,
and
absolutely.
your content is very authentic, which is dope. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, and I have a whole section I want to get into on the content in a little bit, and just like your whole approach with it, which is fucking, yeah, like I'll get into it for sure.
For sure.
So that being said, all right, so you just finished your first large multifamily and
Mhm.
that whole process. How long did that take you guys roughly? Like from the start of like going to look at it to like,
Oh, dude.
standing outside and fucking getting the ads out.
Horrible. It was horrible, dude. It was probably like a year and a half, 2 years, which it should not have taken this long. But like when we bought the place, I mean, it was like I said, it was full of people. It was probably like 80% occupied. Half the people were paying, half the people weren't. The people that were paying were using like Section 8, like welfare, whatever, which is totally fine. Like nothing against that. It's just like one thing you learn is like when you start to deal and like who was I talking about this the other day? If you have a like a cheap product, you're gonna have like cheap problems. But if you have a high ticket product, you're gonna have high ticket problems. So you like for me personally, I always want to sell high ticket. So like that being said, the quality of person that we had in there wasn't necessarily the greatest. So we had not necessarily the greatest kind of problems. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we spent like 6 months just straight up evicting people, which was a delight in and of itself. And then when we finally got in there and saw everything, it was just a fucking mess, dude. We realized, all right, this whole entire thing basically has to go outside of the studs, the roof, and the foundation. So
Damn.
yeah, it was tough, dude. It was really tough because it was a 1956, I believe, motel that some asshole had converted into a apartment complex, but they just did a fucking horrible job with it. So we had to clean up the mess. And long story short, the rehab itself took probably about a year. We were dealing with a lot of shit that we had never dealt with before. Obviously, the scalability of it, the bankroll management of it is like in and of itself is very, very difficult. On top of that, you got the rehab permitting, dealing with contractors, subcontractors, trying to manage timelines, get everything ordered, the materials. It was a train wreck. So that took us about a year, finally finished it. And we got it rented pretty quick. Kind of like a quote unquote blue ocean strategy where it's like the nicest apartment complex in the area. So a lot of people want to come in and rent from us. We're just so selective with who we're trying to get in because I don't know, you're trying to rebrand, things like that. So it's taken a little bit longer than we liked, but still 2 months later, we're 100% occupied at this point. Everybody's paying, everything looks pretty good. And now it's time to do a refi and get our money back out. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. Oh man, this
Hell
shit
yeah,
gets
bro.
me hyped, dude. This shit gets me
Yeah.
hyped. Dude, yeah.
Dude.
So even though it took you a little bit longer than you anticipated and really wanted to, and all the bullshit, like, dude, I can't imagine like the fucking valuable knowledge that you guys like pulled out from this process, like moving forward. Like,
oh yeah, 100%.
I feel like the hardships is like you learn a lot from that shit. Sometimes more than the good. I mean, at least in my experiences.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, it's really tough. It's a double-edged sword because it's like you're going through something and like there's no book on like what to do if a contractor walks away with like your money and you're stuck without a contractor, which pushes you back 2 weeks. But then the contractor decides to come back and just steals like your material, and then like you know what I mean? Like there's no books on how to deal with that shit. So you just end up figuring out on your own. And when you do, you learn a life skill that you got forever that can go out and make you money and generate cash for you forever. So take the hits,
Damn, no, for sure. All right. So with all that being said, what would you say that the most frustrating part of being an investor is for you and your partner?
Oh my God. It depends. You have to ask me on like a different, I guess it depends on the day you ask me. Like yesterday, I'll tell you it was real estate agents. Like 2 weeks ago, I would say it was permitting. The week before, I would say it's like general contractors. You know what I mean? Like it changes all the time. So when you have a business, you're always going to have problems. You know what I mean? Like 90% of entrepreneurship is just getting kicked in the dick every day. And then 10% of the time, something finally goes right. And you're like, all right, this might actually work out. You know what I mean? And that's what keeps you going. So,
dude, that's like what fucking Alex Hermazi was saying.
Yeah.
Like, you know him?
Oh, dude, I love Hormazi. I'm like the biggest Hormazi fan you'll ever meet. So a lot of shit that I say is probably regurgitated.
Yeah, he's the fucking goat, dude. Like I've learned a lot of shit from him. Like hours of YouTube like videos of him.
Yeah. Dude, have you ever read his books?
No, I want to. Barton, you just got him.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I just got the 2 books and the workbook, bro. I'm hyped.
Dude, you will crush those things so fast. Like I mean, $100 million leads, fantastic. $100 million offers, like even better. It just like, especially for you guys are super motivated. You're trying to craft the brand, like tell a story, and you guys do have a great story. So it'll really, like for me, it helped me put the pieces together, and I'm sure that it'll probably help you guys do the same. Not that you're not doing a great job of it now, because you guys are absolutely fucking killing it.
Appreciate you, bro.
Shucks. Well, shucks. All right. Well, I'm gonna hop on Amazon Prime as soon as we're done here and order this shit. So.
Oh, 100%, bro. 100%.
Yeah.
What about you guys? You guys, I know, I'm sure you guys can probably relate, but you guys face a lot of that with the clothing industry. I'm sure that there's a million and one hurdles, a million and one things that drive you guys nuts.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, again, it kind of depends on where you're at in the process and the day and what you have going on.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like for me, I think that with the clothing, it's like it can be like so hit or miss. Like we've had shit that we've made that we thought was absolutely gonna like kill it, you know, like the marketing, like fucking videos and shit. And then, you know, you have some sales, but it's not nearly what you expected. And then you have some things that you make that are like, you know what I mean? Like this is solid and we love it. It's so simple, you know, whatever. And like you're like, it's gonna be consistent, but then that shit ends up being your best seller, and you're just like, okay, you know what I mean? Or like, you know, supplier issues and shit too. Like we actually worked on Still Active clothing. What was it, Barton? Like 9 months before we actually even like announced it or anything like that.
Yeah,
you know,
like
like
finalizing logos, talking with the like different print shops and stuff. Because when we started, like we didn't even fucking know how to make a logo into like an official PNG, bro. So we're just sending them logos and shit, and like we need a PNG. So then we're like looking up shit on the internet, and finally we're here, you know.
For sure. So is there a lot of back and forth with like the suppliers? Like they send you a sample of something, you're like, no, this fucking sucks, do it again.
Oh yeah, we've spent a lot of money just on like, dude, even like there's one product, the Nightfall. I'm actually wearing it right now. This right here
is tight, by the way.
Thank you. This right here looks so simple, but this crew neck, we fucking got like 5 or 6 of them in, just because like they were like, we didn't like the positioning, it was too high, too low, like one was off to the left and everything. Like we've spent a lot of time and money on it, but again, we don't want to put anything out that's like, you know, that we're not satisfied with, you know. And that's kind of like the kick in the nuts for us was when we started planning this. It was like right before COVID hit, and then like we announced like right before COVID like was a thing, and then like suppliers and shit just like got fucked, and like it was just a hell of a time. We had to like almost like re-strategize completely.
Yeah, we only had 2 suppliers out of like 6.
Damn. Dude.
So
yeah, but that's the beauty of it, dude. Like everyone else probably just like, imagine if there was fucking 10 other people that got into clothing at that time. I bet you at least 8, probably 9 of them just said, it's not worth it. And here you guys are, how many years later? You know what I mean?
We're going on year 5.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Well, dude, like you were kind of saying it earlier, like when you get into a business, like, you know, it's kind of like a passion thing. Like we like started it, just wanted to like do something cool. You know what I mean? Like we didn't like look at it like, dude, we're going to get fucking rich off this. You know what I mean? Like we were just like, we just want to like, you know, create a brand and like have it evolve over time and just kind of like push a message of just like, dude, just like do whatever the fuck you want to do because you can do it, but don't get it twisted. It's going to be hard as fuck. Like, you know what I mean? And it just comes down to like choosing your hard. Like it's going to be hard if you're a fucking piece of shit and you don't do anything with your life, or it's going to be hard if you bust your ass and like, you know, grind every goddamn day. Like you just really have to like, you know, pick what you want to do to suffer. I guess like it's just,
couldn't agree more. And it's like, I don't know too. I mean, the thing is like exactly like you said, so many people get into something just because they think, oh, I'll make $10,000 a month doing this. Oh, like everyone else made a clothing brand like this. Like I can do this. I'll make 20 grand a month doing this. Or someone else will see someone else successful in real estate and be like, oh, I'll just do this because I'll make a ton of money. But like the problem is you don't realize when you're getting into something, if you're just doing it for the money, like you're going to probably give up pretty quick, dog. Like you're not going to make it very long because eventually like the desire for money, it wears out and some other new shiny object comes up. But as long as you actually give a fuck, you know what I mean? Like you're in it for the long haul, and the people that are in it for the long haul are the people who ended up winning.
No, for sure, dude. So, all right. So we can roll into the next thing I wanted to pick your brain about off that. Yeah. What is your why and what keeps you going when the times get tough in this whole fucking journey that you got going on?
You know, dude, like I'm someone that's like, I'm way more motivated by like the lion chasing me than like the carrot on the stick in front of me. So like for me, it's like the thought of a life where I can't provide like my future family, my future wife, my future kids with everything that they've ever wanted. You know what I mean? Like that's a huge driver for me. Like the fact that like someday I'm not going to be able to go to every single one of my kids' football games, or that my daughter's going to want something. And I'm going to have to say, like I'm just not making enough money. I'm sorry. Or like my wife, like she's going to want $100,000 wedding, and I'm going to be like, I'm a little tight this month, so it's not going to work out. You know what I mean? Like that shit to me is a much bigger driver than being like, oh, I want a fucking Rolex, or oh, I want a fucking Lamborghini. Like that shit's great, but it's fleeting. So I guess, like I said, the lion at my ass is my motivator.
Brilliant fucking answer.
Yeah.
I honestly could not agree more, and like that's truly like what drives me too. Like, but like I like did it backwards, you know what I mean? Like I got, I got married, like I had a kid, you know what I mean? I bought a house young, I did it all super young, and then like, I always wanted to just like, go to college, have a 9 to 5, and I got there at like fucking 21, and I'm just like I'm like, dude, this is it. I was just like, whatever. And then I just started like seeing all these things and people, and then like, like dudes like you fucking killing it. And I'm just like, yo, like, because and like, we'll get into this again later, like being from a small town and shit like that, like the amount of like hate that you get for wanting more, dude. And just like,
God, bro.
you know what I mean? Like it's fucking wild. So you really have to go against the grain with that. And like, you really got to keep your nose down and like surround yourself with like-minded people, because if not, dude, you're going to have a hell of a time. And, like, your network is your net worth. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're going to, the standards, what you think, all that shit. Like if you surround yourself with the right type of people, like you'll go up.
Yeah. No, couldn't agree more. More. What about you, Barton? What's your motivation?
Yeah. I mean, I would say the same, honestly, like just being able to have the opportunity to provide like in the future, as well as like the freedom aspect of things. Like I want to be able to pour my time into like a creative project or things that I'm passionate, more so than having to do something that I'd rather not do for money. So like I'd rather chase it now and just go as hard as I can while I don't have so many commitments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just feel like I have a set period of time right now that I need to get shit done heavily.
And the pressure's on.
Exactly.
So let me ask you guys this. Which one of you guys is like the creative and which one of you guys is the operator? Like I know, at least in my business, like that's kind of how we have it broken out. But are you guys like both collaborating on the creative shit? Are you guys splitting up responsibilities? How do you guys structure everything?
I would say we split it up pretty evenly. Like Matt definitely does a little bit more of like the tedious business aspect of things, and then I would say I'd take care of like the tedious social media shit. But we definitely collaborate on everything. So we all like each of us knows what's going on and where our heads are at. But yeah, I would say social media would probably be me, and operations for Matt.
I'm more of like, I always like fuck around and joke, like I'm like the behind the scene guy. I'm like, get the camera off. Get the camera off me. You know what I mean?
Like a pretty face.
Yeah, he's the fucking face. You know what I mean? Like he kills it with the social media, the photography, the videography. You know what I mean? Like as far as designs go, like that's a 50-50 thing. You know what I mean? Like he does like socials, videography, photography. I do like more like business, taxes, like, numbers shit. But like when it comes to the designs, like it's like he makes designs, I make designs. We like have a whole like bank of just like designs, and like we just like go through our favorites and just, do that. So that's kind of how, in a nutshell, the processes like work.
Which is dope awesome. Too, because Matt has like that hardcore like fucking old English shit, the fucking dope ass traditional tats and shit. Like he's got that vibe, and I got like the fucking like the colorful like color block shit, the Nike shit, stuff like that.
Which honestly is awesome, because like if I never linked up with him, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I would have just stayed in that one lane, but he is kind of just like opened my eyes up to a whole different world and shit. And like, it brings great dynamic to the brand because like, if people want more, like, I guess just like I'm basic as fuck when I wear shit, dude. Like give
Yeah.
me a black crew neck with a little logo on it every day. Like that's what I'll do.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? But Barton, he spices it up. Like he's sitting there on like fucking Adobe Illustrator, like fucking with settings like all day. Like he's nuts with it.
Yeah.
He's a guru.
Drinking a fucking coffee, got like 2 zins and just like changing the world.
No, that happens like frequently.
real.
That happens frequently.
Yeah. Oh,
No,
dude, I
but-
believe it. I believe it. That's awesome, man. So, do you guys ever like have any disagreements, and like how do you guys resolve those?
Oh,
This is a
dude.
question I just love to ask like other entrepreneurs that have a partner, a business
Yeah.
partner. By the way, I love this question.
No, yeah, it's a great question, honestly. Dude, like we really like as far as disagreements, like they're handled very well and they don't really happen often because we've been doing it so long. Like we both know kind of like what each person's gonna say on something. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But really what we do is like it's not necessarily a disagreement, but it's more so like a hey, like, you know what I mean? Like I see what you're doing with this and I like it. Let's just like maybe tweak it a little bit and kind of
Yeah.
like point it in this direction and like let's see how it goes. You know what I mean? And like more often than not, that's great and it'll work. Sometimes it doesn't still, and we'll just go back to the drawing board. Like there's no like I guess what we understand is just like that's a common practice of business and like relationships in general. And it's you know what I mean? Like you need to handle them in an efficient, professional manner for growth. And if you don't, then you're gonna be stuck, dude. You know, like it needs to happen. It's non-negotiable.
Yeah.
100%.
And heavy communication. I think that's a big factor in it too. Like we could kind of tell if one of our vibes are off or, you know, if we're going through some shit or, you know, one of us is busy as fuck for a little bit. Like you just kind of feel it out. And because it is kind of like a little bit of a side hobby right now because, you know, you have other responsibilities and shit and you want to keep it fun so you can stay consistent. So I would just say heavy communication's a big part of it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's tough, dude. Like, you grow up with so many different kinds of relationships. You have friends, you have family members, you have girlfriends, but like, you don't ever have a business partner until you're in your 20s, and it's a totally different kind of relationship than you've ever had in your whole entire life. So it's like relearning a whole entire skill is just how to communicate with a business partner and effectively run a business.
Oh, 100%. So how about you? You have your business partner, Garrett, right?
Yeah, Garrett, he's a tree. I should have brought him on here, man. That would have been something else.
Dude, we
That'd
could
be
always
sick.
have him on.
That'd be dope.
No, I mean if you guys want to talk real estate, he'll sit here for fucking. You guys will never get off this stream. You guys will never. Martin will be sitting in his car all day, and Matt's couch will be in the fucking basement.
Yeah, dude. So how do you guys like go about like disagreements, or if you have any, or you know what I mean, like shit like that?
Because you guys are
we're
dealing with
lucky.
lots of money too.
Yeah. I mean, and that's like where everything gets tricky because you got to be buttoned the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like we're very similar to you guys. We have two very different dynamics where Garrett is so like chill, so relaxed. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm kind of like I'm paranoid, like in a good way though. I like to say it's in a good way. I don't know how much you guys listen to like the Tate brothers.
Oh yeah.
It's just like I remember hearing Andrew and Tristan telling a story about how they were in jail and it was like the second day they were in there and Andrew was pacing back and forth like fuck, we gotta figure this out. How are we gonna get out of here? How are we gonna get out of there? And Tristan is just kicking back on the cot, smoking a cigarette and just being like, you know, we'll figure it out. And that's like the dynamic that Garrett and I have in our business where I'm like, we gotta figure this shit the fuck out. And Garrett's just like, dude, relax. It's gonna be okay. It figures itself out. And somehow it always does. But as you could imagine, that a lot of times creates some friction between us, especially when it comes to, like Barton said, big purchases. We've had a couple of times because Garrett does all of our underwriting. He does all of our like deal sourcing, all of that. And at the end of the day, we have to agree whether or not we're going to move forward with a deal. And there's been a couple of times where it's just like Garrett wants to do a deal, I don't want to do a deal, and we got to sit down, like you guys said, and just talk about it and actually weigh out. All right, these are the benefits of doing this deal. These are the costs of doing this deal. Like, should we actually do this? And sometimes one partner gives a little bit more than the other, or vice versa on other times. You know what I mean? It always ends up working itself out. And I don't know. We never really hold each other too hard to any mistakes that we make, and whenever we have some kind of victory, it's both of our victory. So it ends up working out, you know?
Oh, 100%. I love that. Yeah. And that's like, I don't know, dude. It's just super inspirational too, because like talking about the realness and shit, and like, you know, kind of like dives into like the TikTok and like and everything like that. Like you, like your ability to be so transparent with shit and just share the good, the bad, you know, everything like you are on this episode. Like I just think it's fucking sick, and I think that's what is like really contributing a lot of your success on TikTok. I mean, we'll fucking pull it up and link all your shit, but like,
I
you know what I
appreciate it.
mean? Like, dude, like the content's there, like your personality's there. I mean, and the numbers are there. You know, anyone can go look. Again, we'll link this shit. You know what I mean? It is so like really with that, your ability to tell the truth, and you have like this unwavering ability to just be transparent with anything, dude. And it just, I don't know, it's fucking nuts. So when did you start seeing true success on the TikTok? And was it a single video that blew you up, or was it like gradual growth and success over time?
No, dude. So like I can give like so much credit to my girlfriend for this actually, because she was kind of the one that like was actually pushing me to do it, because we were in a position where we had like 4 or 5 deals going on at the same time, and I like it was a weird thing where a lot of people were asking me questions about it, and I was like, yeah, this is kind of shit that a lot of people want to do, but there's so many crazy things happen, like cars hitting our fucking houses, like homeless people and these things, that I was like, you know, there's probably like some pretty good stories in this. I fucked up so many times that like maybe someone gets some kind of value out of this, and I'm sure it'll create like funny content. So let's test this and see how it goes. And long story short, I just started. We had a property in Sarasota, and we had a hard money note on it, and there's like 41 days until the note was due. And we had barely even started the rehab. It was like we lost 2 contractors already. Permitting had shut us down because the general contractor, didn't pull the permit right, and we were just sitting there with our dicks in our hands in a demoed property. And we were like, "Oh no, what do we do?" So I was like, "You know what? This is a good opportunity to start it." So I just started a series like 41 days left until this rehab's got to be done. And I just did it every fucking day. And none of the videos blew up, nothing too crazy. But like right away, I was starting to get good engagement. People were like, dude, this is actually pretty fucking sweet. And it just, after the 41 days were done, I kept posting, and slowly but surely more and more people started following me. People kept commenting. And the biggest thing for me was just, I was getting hit up in my DMs on Instagram so fucking heavy. It was like 10, 15 messages a week from dudes just like, yo, I want to do this. How can I do this? How did you do this? So from there, I just started making content for those guys. It was like, this is how we did this. This is what we fucked up. Don't do this. Try to do this. And it's just grown into what it's grown into.
Dude, I love that, bro. Because, you know, coming from Herkimer, super small town area, you know, just those risks are huge, bro.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people take them. And the way you make and create content, it honestly makes me feel like I've known you for years. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Dude, for real.
like you are a natural on the camera, bro. It's fucking dope. And being able to kind of connect like just normal ass dudes like us, like doing dope shit, like the correlation's there. I don't know. I just love to see it, bro.
No, I appreciate that, man. And that's like, I don't know, that's exactly what like your guys' brand, that's exactly what Still Active is. So I think that's like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we're having a good conversation. I feel like that's why we've clicked so well. Like you guys get it. You know what I mean? Like authenticity, like you're not even trying, like that's what's so great about authenticity. You don't even have to sell it. People just feel it. You know what I mean?
Dude, 100%, bro. And that's the thing, dude. Like every time I've seen you, dude, like I always like chatted you about the TikTok. Cause like, dude, I don't go on TikTok often. Like not as often as like I should to like absorb information. But like anytime I'm on there, bro, like your videos are just like fucking popping up, and the engagement, and, like, the numbers, and like, but the thing of it is, again, is just like that like factor of authenticity is there, and it's so effortless with you. And the craziest part is like you are just like sharing details about your fucking day. Like really, you know, like I've seen the ones where you're like, yeah, you know, we're doing this, da 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 da, and like the clips, and like it's funny, but it's serious, and it's like real as fuck. And it's just like, dude, like Barton said, like this guy's a fucking natural. But
I
don't know. So with all that, like, has there been people like hitting you up like, yo, like, I know you're probably fucking busy. Like, I'll fucking pay you for your time. Like, I'll pay you to tell me shit. Because like, there's a lot of people who are in your position who are like, you know, setting up like courses or like, you know, consulting and shit. And I think you've posted like some videos about the courses and shit, and like what to
Yeah.
look out for and shit.
Yeah, no, dude, it's so funny. It's like I have a video slated to go out. I think it's like today or tomorrow, and it's about like this exact topic. But I mean, there have been a lot of dudes that are like, "Yo, I'll pay you like you got like half an hour. I can pay you like $100. Just get on a call with me." Because I was taking calls a lot at first. Like there were a lot of dudes that were just like, "Hey, I need some help with this or I need some help with that," and I was getting on calls, and it like before I knew it, it was just taking like half of my day to like go through and start talking to people. And then people started offering me money, and I just didn't feel right taking money from people. So it's like if I see you going out of the way and like you're willing to do that, like sometimes I'll still jump on calls with people. But like in the long game, I guess like I don't know, man. I just want to provide value to people, continue to build my personal brand, and then eventually, like I'm an entrepreneur at heart. Like I can't sit here and tell you guys that like I won't try to fucking sell something someday. Like I would love to, but like for now, like I'm just cool with making content and helping people out, you know?
Protect this man at all costs. Protect him. Okay, you're watching this. Protect him. Nah,
Yeah,
but
I
like, dude,
appreciate that.
for real. But like, you know, like, yeah, you're an entrepreneur at heart, but also you got to like realize too, like the amount of like blood, sweat, and tears you poured into this shit, and like the the losses you've taken that have like helped push you forward, so you don't make the same mistake twice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that has a lot of value in itself. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people these days are just looking for instant gratification and just like the easiest way to get shit.
Yeah.
And like, like I like, I want to, that's why we do the podcast, like we want to have like incredible people like yourself on here, like sharing your story, showing people that it can be done. But at the same time, they got to put in the work.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. And like we've had people contact us, whatever it may be, and like again, it takes up half your day and stuff, and you have your own shit, you have your own shit going on, and it's just like I just think it's like awesome that like you have that platform and you are sharing like all the blood, sweat, and tears you put into it, and like people recognize that. And I think again that's also another huge contributor to your success, because it's literally like it's like a fucking encyclopedia on your TikTok. You go on there, you're just like, all right, you're like, there's a fucking video for whatever I'm going through right now. And it's just sick. Yeah. So kudos to you, dude. Like truly, like just, it's really inspirational. So
hell yeah, bro. And it's
that,
good
man.
documentation too for the future, which is crazy for you to look back on,
Yeah, no, dude, I think about that sometimes too. Cause it's like, I can go through my feed and it's like a little journal of my life. Like, oh fuck, I can remember when this guy stole all of our material and Garrett and I were like negative $5,000 in our checking account. You know what I mean? So it's definitely like a good story.
Oh, that's sick, dude. I love that. So, all right. So kind of to move forward with all that, what is a tool or an important practice that has helped you in your overall personal development journey? Because I'm sure that you have developed, a lot in a lot of different ways throughout this career and this everything that comes with it.
Yeah. Now you boys are coming with the heat questions. I'll give it to you, man. Holy hell. But now, dude, it's I'd say it can be attributed. Like two of the biggest skills that I've been able to learn are number one, discipline, and number two, just like the ability to do like really shitty, hard stuff. Those are like the two biggest things. Because for me, I mean, it like entrepreneurship is a game of attrition. It's just like if you could be absolutely horrible at everything you do, but if you get up every single fucking day and you say, I'm going to try this. I'm going to give this my best effort. And you do that for a year straight, 2 years straight, 3 years straight. That's discipline, and that's where the big gains are made. But within that is doing hard shit. Like when you start something, how it's like, dude, we're both, or the three of us are from small towns. Like you're going to get shit on. Like people are gonna be like, what the fuck? Why is this guy trying to do this? And it's going to suck. Like you're going to be getting kicked in the dick constantly. Like, why the fuck doesn't this ever work? I'm putting all my time and all my effort into this, and it's not going to be fun. Like if you sit down at 5 o'clock in the morning, you don't get up until 9 o'clock at night. Like that kind of sucks. You don't really have a quality of life. So it's like the combination of just having the wherewithal to know that this is going to be shitty and doing it anyways, and just having the discipline to sit down and be like, it's happening every day, no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the fucking recipe. Like doing the things that you need to do that you don't necessarily want to do at that moment, dude, like consistently is fucking nuts. Like there's been so many things that I've had to do that like I just really at that time just don't want to do. But like, and it can be anything from like reading a certain amount of pages in a book to hitting the gym to like, taking a couple hours to like get some marketing done for the cleaning business, like whatever it may be, dude, because you know how it is when you have your hands in shit, like it's taxing. Like the 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. like, bro, like, and especially you, I mean, dude, like you got everything you got going on, you know what I mean? Like with the fitness and everything, I mean, dude, like you go fucking hard.
Appreciate it, bro.
You go hard, bro. So that's
it.
another thing too I kind of wanted to touch on is like, the aspect of fitness. Like I know you've always been into it, you know what I mean? Like super into it and like super fucking yoked. Like what made you want to like get into it? Like ever since I've known you, dude, like anytime like I have a picture of you, like it's just like you're fucking jacked. And it's never changed. Like I'm not even like bullshit. It's never changed. Like what drives you to like not only get that physique and lifestyle, but maintain it over time?
Yeah, no, I mean, to be honest with you, it's probably like some form of narcissism of being like, I can't not look good at all times, you know what I mean? But but no, dude, it just started when I was a kid, like I started when I was probably like 16, just going to the gym, like, and I've been doing like getting up early and shit like that. Like, I feel like it's just starting to get cool again. Like people are like, yeah, get up early, go to the fucking gym and do this shit. I was doing this shit when I was like 16, bro. I was like getting up on a Sunday morning at like 8 a.m., which no fucking 16-year-old kid does, and going and bench pressing at like the bottom of Oats gym. Like you know how Oats gym is, bro. Like, it's not the place you want to be on a Sunday morning. So I don't know, dude. I started doing it back then for football, and it helped me play better. And I ended up going to college and playing football, and I was just like, oh, I guess I can't stop doing this. Like I got to keep getting better. So I just kept going, and luckily I had pretty good genetics, got out of college, and then I went to, like I said, I went to Disney. I was doing the janitor shit, and it was like the only form of like release that I had. So I would just go get my frustrations out in the gym after getting shit on all day by other people, just like telling me to clean up their shit. And then after that, I mean, you do it for so long, it just becomes a habit and a lifestyle where like, if I'm not going to the gym, something doesn't feel right in my day,
Yeah, 100%. Fuck yeah, dude. All right.
Well, right there, we see the direct correlation to hard work and discipline. And like where you are now, like you're fucking hella young, bro. Hella young.
Yeah.
And you got your fucking hands in tons of great stuff, man.
Yeah, no, 100%, dude. You absolutely nail it. Like I look back on those times in high school where I see, like I didn't get to go out with my friends. I wasn't really into like the party scene or anything, and it fucking sucked. Yeah, maybe I missed out on some shit, but it's paying off tenfold now. You said it earlier, Barton. It's like that's one of your main driving factors is you're only this age for so long, and you work hard now and you suffer right now. You live like a king forever. So it all comes around.
Hell yeah, bro.
100%. So all right, so. Along with everything you got going on, the fitness, all that, like what other hobbies do you have and what would you like to get into in the future?
Matt, you got too many good questions, dog. Can I flip this question on you first? Like you're always got your, like both, especially you, Matt. I'm just kind of like learning about you, Barton. So I'd love to ask you this question as well, but like you guys are both busy as fuck. Like Matt, you have a family, dog. Like you have a kid, you got like 10 businesses, you're into music. Like how the fuck do you do all this shit and what else are you into?
Bro, like honestly, I asked myself the same question. How do I do it? Like it's not fucking easy, bro. Like it's not, man. And something that I struggled with for a long time was balance.
Yeah.
And it nipped me in the ass a few times, like big time for sure.
Yeah.
But I guess really again, like kind of what you said earlier is like the whole like providing for the family and like, what Barton said, like the freedom and shit like that. Like
yeah.
And again, what you just said about working now and like, having it pay off like later, you know what I mean? Like it's been paying off like currently, but like I'm looking for like long term, like with the real estate and everything, like dude, like long term gain. Like and that thing, like I'm building the foundation for whatever. And like especially for my son, like I want to lead by example because like a lot of times parents are like, do this, don't do this. You can do whatever you want to do, put your mind to it. And then like the kids are like, well, why didn't you? You know what I mean? So it's just like, so I got to lead by example. And but really that's my main driving forces that let me, or allow me to stay disciplined in a lot of these areas and get shit done. But yeah, I mean, I do this podcast, the clothing. I started a cleaning service last October. I started real estate with my buddy Antonio. We all know Antonio.
It just keeps going. The list keeps going.
And then I just started a new band actually called Streetwater with a few of my best friends, and we actually just finished recording our first demo. It's actually set to release on Valentine's Day this year.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, so I got my hands in a few things, but again, dude, like, life is not certain, and I just want to live it to the fullest, and I really do not want to have any regrets at the end of the day. So that's why I do what I do.
No, I love it, dude. I absolutely fucking love it.
Solid question.
Well, you,
Bart.
Barton?
Yeah. I think a big part of mine would be kind of how Matt was talking about the regrets towards the end. Like, I feel like a lot of people have went through life, experienced of time where they could have put more effort in, and they didn't necessarily get the result they wanted. And you look back and you're like, damn, I could have went harder. And that regret of not going so hard, like, that shit will stick with you forever.
Yeah.
So I just feel like I don't know. I'm like a hyperactive dude. Like, I just love doing tons of shit, dude. Like, I love creating shit. Yeah, I love seeing shit develop. I love helping other people develop ideas and businesses. Like, when people talk to me about businesses, like, I'll just keep asking them questions, keep prying them, and get their head rolling. Because when shit clicks for other people, I love that. So I would say that's a big, and just the fact that there is so much out there in this world, man. Like, so much to experience. Whether it's relationships, travel, materialistic stuff, like just like freedom that we haven't experienced. I just feel like there's so much untapped potential, and I just want to see what we can do.
100%, man. Does that ever drive people around you crazy, like your family, your mom, like your girl, like the fact that you're just so like hyperactive? You're like, oh fuck, like what can I do next? I can't sit still,
Yeah, honestly, dude, because I don't even catch myself sitting down. Like, if I'm not doing anything, I swear to God, I'll be pacing around my apartment, bro.
100%, bro.
Crazy.
100%.
So, it definitely does. People definitely be like, dude, what are you doing? Like, sit down or
like,
chill,
relax, have a beer. Yeah.
Dude, it's so funny. Like, anytime I FaceTime this motherfucker, like, I'm a huge FaceTime guy. I love FaceTime. Yeah. Like, he's either like fucking snowboarding, like literally like, he's like, what's up, bro? I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, he's always doing shit, dude. And like, it's just, I don't know. It's super cool. And like, it motivates me too. Cause like, you know what I mean? Like, I got my hands in a lot of shit. And sometimes you have good days with it. Sometimes you have bad days. And he's just always in my ear. Like, all right, let's talk about it. Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, we're going to do this. You know what I mean? Like, he's a super awesome dude to like have in your corner. Cause like that hyperactiveness is like, it's spreading, bro. Like, you know what I mean? If you're having a down day, like, like this kid's gonna fucking pick you right back up.
I love that.
Appreciate that.
And the eternal optimism too. That's another thing. Like, to have like you talk about Killer Trace having a business partner. Like, if one of you guys is an eternal optimist and the other guy is like a little paranoid, like, that's a killer dynamic, dude. Killer dynamic.
Yeah, I'm the paranoid one. 1000%.
Yeah, I feel you, dog. Because Garrett's the same way. It's just eternal optimism. It's like, dude, there's no way this deal can't work out. I end up losing like 30 grand. It's like, Garrett, like, that's not how it works, dog.
Damn, no, that's a fact. All right, how about you, Brennen? What hobbies you have going on, and what's some shit you'd like to get into?
I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, similar to Barton, like, I can't sit still, and it drives everybody around me crazy. That's why I asked you that question. Like, a couple years ago, I ended up getting into like hiking and shit. So like, I ended up going to like Mount Kilimanjaro, hiking that in fucking Africa. It was the most random shit ever. And then like
that's
a year after that, bro, it was like, my friend was like, dude, we're making good money, because we still had our jobs at this point, or we just had left them. And he was like, it's always been my life goal to go run with the bulls in Spain. You want to go to Europe? And I was like, yeah, let's go to Europe. So that was like a big thing for a year, just like preparing for that. And now it's like, I've spent a lot of time home because the apartment complex we have is in Albany. And I've been spending so much time with my brother. And we were raised in the country. My parents split up when I was young, but I was raised in the country. I like to consider myself like half a country boy. Like, my dad calls me like a square billy, not like a hillbilly, like a fucking square billy. So I fucking I've been spending a lot of time just in the woods doing like fucking country boy shit lately. So that's been my big thing, is just shooting my bow and arrow. Like it really just like I've heard Joe Rogan say this, but you shoot your bow and arrow and it's like you can't focus on anything else or else you're gonna fuck up. So it just helps me detach, like get my mind off of all the shit that I have going on. So that's kind of what I'm into today. It probably change tomorrow.
Man, I love that. Dude, that is so true about the bow and arrow. Like,
yeah,
you really can't. You will fuck up, dude.
Oh, dog, especially because the arrows cost like $12 an arrow. So it's like every time I'm like thinking about something else and I lose one, I'm like, come on, Brennan.
Yeah, dude, I haven't shot in a while. I used to be like super into like all that stuff. Like I had a compound bow when I was a kid, and just like, you know, my grandmother, she lives up in the country and she has, I think, like 6 or 8 acres, something like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, she let me set up my own like range and shit, and it was
That's
just
pretty cool, dude.
Super cool. But I missed that. I might have to get back into that. Thank you for the inspiration.
We and you should get some compound bows and go visit Barton out in Colorado, go on a little hunt out there.
Oh my
That'd
God.
Be sick.
That'd be tight, dude.
Wow. Yeah, I would. That oof. Yeah. I'm having visions of that trip right now.
Yeah, dude, it's on my list. I'm about to go out west somewhere and kill a fucking elk someday. So,
dude,
come on, bro.
So sick with the bow.
You boys are more than welcome. Yeah, with the bow, dude. With the bow. I watch too much Joe Rogan and Cam Hanes not to. It's just it is what it is, you know.
Nah. Respect that. For sure. All right, cool. So you're into some bow stuff, some outdoorsy shit. I mean, that's dude. It's like when you're outdoors too. Like it's kind of like a separation. Like even like from the bow, and like, you know, like especially nowadays with like the digital age and technology and stuff.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah.
Dude, like as much as it helps, you know, with like businesses and like, you know, learning new information and knowledge, like it's also a curse, dude. Like at least in my eyes, because like, you know, like we're one of like the last generations who got to experience childhood without fucking like iPhones and like internet.
Crazy to think about. That's crazy to think about.
And like there was like a simplicity to that era that I miss so much. Like, you know, but again, it really
like
helps
romantic,
with it.
You know.
Yeah, it's so true, dude. So, but yeah, so I have another question for you that I think, you know, you're gonna fucking kill this answer. What advice would you give to someone who feels lost or stuck in life at their current moment right now?
Yeah, really good question, man. Just start doing shit. Because that's the only, like, I don't know. There's a John Steinbeck quote. It's, I was born lost and I take no pleasure in being found. And I fucking love that quote. Because, like, I feel like everyone's been sold this idea that you're supposed to grow up, and by the time you get out of college, like you're supposed to know exactly what you're doing, and it's supposed to be what you're passionate about, and you should be making enough money in it, and like you should be living this amazing dream life. And all of us get there, we graduate college, and we're stuck with a fucking 9-to-5 that we hate that pays us $40,000 a year, and we're like, well, this is not what I signed up for, you know? So I think a lot of people do end up feeling lost for that reason. And I think the only way to get unlost, quote unquote, because I don't think we're ever truly unlost, but that's another conversation for another time, is just start doing shit, dude. Like, I mean, when I got out of school, like I really want to start a business, but I didn't know what kind of business I wanted to start. I'm not as creative as you guys. I can't like just think of like cool clothing designs, you know? So I looked for like a proven path to wealth, and that was real estate. So I ended up getting into real estate. But when I started getting into real estate, I realized, oh shit, you know what? Like I actually like this kind of business, you know what I mean? So it's like you start to gravitate towards shit like that. And then the next thing you know, you start to get into something else like social media. And now I'm into this, and maybe I'll write a book, and maybe I'll do this, and maybe I'll do that. So that's like the only way out is up. You know, you got to do something. You can't just sit there and expect someone to come save you.
Killer answer.
I love that.
No, it's so true. And like I saw this thing probably like a month ago. It said that like, you know, as people, we oftentimes spend so much time preparing to live that we forget to live like in the moment. You know what I mean? Like with everything. And it's just like, again, like if you just start doing shit, like you said, like in the moment, you know, I feel like you are gonna like gravitate towards something and like discover something new. And that's like a huge part of our brand too, is like, you know, I kind of like touched on earlier, like do whatever the fuck you want because you can. And it might piss some people off along the way, you know, again, and you know, we'll kind of move on to the next subject too. But I think it's worth it. And at the end of the day, this is like all of our individual lives. And, you know, you might have to piss some people off, and, you know, it's okay to change direction. It's okay to say no sometimes. And it's okay to try something that, you know, people around you are saying you're crazy for.
No, I took the words out of my mouth.
So, which again translates into the next thing I wanted to touch on is welcome to the circus.
Yeah.
So yeah, Brennan, why don't you tell us a little bit about welcome to the circus? Because I think everybody should fucking know about it for sure.
No, I appreciate that, man. So welcome to the circus. That started almost 2 years ago, like we were talking about before. I I love writing. I fucking love it. And and again, like we were talking about a couple minutes ago, there's something so romantic to me about like the written word, just how like we didn't have the technology that we have now, like 20 years ago. And like that was, I guess, pretty romantic. This is kind of the same thing, you know? I think the written word is so powerful. And I think that it's got a longevity that a lot of other things don't. So I wanted to find a medium for me to just like start writing. I had a lot of like halfway decent thoughts that I wanted to just like test out, put them on paper. And I figured, you know what, fuck it. Like I'll start a newsletter. No one really is. I mean, at the time, people weren't really doing it. It's getting more popular now. But I'll put together a newsletter where I'll just provide some value to people. Like, hey, here's a quote that I love. Here's the shit that I'm reading right now. This is my writing. Check this out while you're here. This is like testing grounds for me, so I can someday write a book and be okay at it. This is like something helpful, and I just started doing it. It started with like my mom and my girlfriend just being like, "You're doing really good. Keep it up." So that's how it started.
Dude,
Like
that
anybody,
support's huge, bro. That
yeah,
beginning support, man.
no, 100%, dude. And because it's just like I don't know, it's so cliche, but you just think about it, and it's like kind of embarrassing, but it is what it is. So I just kept going, and the newsletters got better and better. My writing has gotten better and better. At least I'd like to think. Maybe I'm shit, and I just don't know.
Oh,
But
no, no.
but yeah, and then the TikTok started growing, and I just put the link to my newsletter sign up in my bio, and people just started signing up like fucking wildfire. And thank God, no one like I haven't really had that many unsubscribed, so it just like been like, okay, I guess this isn't bad enough that people like are like, fuck this email coming to my inbox every month. But no, not selling anything is just something that I really like to do, and yeah, that's welcome to the circus, man.
Yeah,
That's
everybody should
awesome.
definitely subscribe. We'll link all the information in the bio of the video for sure. It's like truly valuable. I was just telling him before we started filming. Chapter 18 just came out a couple days ago,
Yes,
and
sir.
a story that everyone can relate to. He talks about, basically like the shit you're gonna get for wanting more than like small town things, and like, you know what I mean? Like everyone on this circle right now, like we all come from, small town and everything. We've touched on it in the video, but it's so much more than that. Like every, chapter that he puts out provide, I mean, at least me personally, a ton of value. I mean, even in this last one, you put like nutrition information in there at the bottom and shit. Like
Yeah,
ton
yeah.
of stuff. Definitely check it out, guys. We will put the link for sure because you guys are not going to want to miss it.
No, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate the hype. It's gonna make me feel a lot of pressure to put the next one out. Make sure that it's good.
Yeah, they're all good. They're all good.
Hell yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, dude. So, yeah, I mean, definitely check it out, man. I mean, just motivational chapters that will rattle the soul and motivate the ever living fuck out of you. So,
Get me
it's
hyped
what it
up,
is.
man.
It's what
Get
it
me
is,
hyped
man.
up.
So yeah, dude. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of like everything on my list. Is there anything, else that you wanted to touch on? You wanted to add in?
Nah, man. I did want to ask you guys, how have you been doing like your social media stuff? I guess this is more of a question for you, Barton, and we could always like do this off camera too, but it's just
Yeah.
more out of curiosity. Like how have you guys gone about building your brand on social media specifically?
So when we started out, we really didn't know what Still Active was gonna be. It
Yeah,
was just a clothing brand at first, and we just kind of had fun making designs and having people rep our shit. Um, and the way we started allowed us to create a community and culture for very, very low costs.
yeah,
And we kind of took a L on like, you know, our the quality side of things for a little bit, but it allowed us to stay consistent without dumping so much like money in there, as well as
yeah,
we got to test, designs, different materials and stuff like that from different suppliers and stuff like that. And then just from, posting and linking up with different creatives, because that's who we were kind of pushing all this stuff to, is
mhm,
people, individuals, businesses doing the shit they love to do and pushing their passions like yourself. Um, and we were just constantly linking up with these people, hooking up with free gear,
yeah,
chatting with them, and
Yeah.
And we would have good talks and stuff like that. And we never really talked on camera on Still Active, you
Mhm.
know, like we'd make a little funny video here and there, but it was mainly photos.
Yeah.
And then Instagram took the turn where it was like, if you're not posting reels, like you might as well not have a fucking Instagram. So we
Yep.
were like, damn, we got to do something, bro. Like,
Yeah.
so we started on the TikToks a little bit, which was a little bit harder because I feel like we like to provide value. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So to consistently and constantly be making TikTok videos that are, you know, just trying to like sell you on clothes, it just didn't really feel like
Right.
us, you
Yeah.
know, like what we were trying to do. And then me and Matt kind of went back to the drawing board and we were like, dude, like we need to get this pod actually going because we've been
Yeah.
fucking trying this shit for 3 years. Honestly, we've had
Yeah.
multiple attempts with podcasts. Like we had one live. We had this sick red velvet fucking
No shit.
layout. It was sick, dude. But I
Untold
don't know if
Stories is
that'll
still
ever see the
active.
light of day. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when you guys blow up, you're gonna have to put something out.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
they're saved. I mean, and they're atrocious. Like
Oh,
it
don't
was
get rid
just
of
like,
those fuckers.
oh no, we're gonna keep them. Like, but like the first episode that he's talking about, like we had this other setup, and we had this wooden sign that one of our buddies' moms like made us of our logo, and it was super cool. We had that, a red velvet
Yeah.
table, and like we just started filming. We had no idea what to talk about, and
And,
like
yeah, it's so hard, dude.
dude, and it is, and like, you know, so it kind of flopped. But yeah, to kind of like go back on the social media aspect of things, like when we first started, Antonio Aceto is Still Active's #1 fucking, you know,
Ambassador.
yeah, model,
Is
whatever.
he
Like,
actually?
yeah, like that boy like stood in like the tundras for us, shivering his ass off just to get a few photos and like everything. Like,
Yeah.
you know, but shout out to all of our like close buddies and everything, because, you know, even like people like, dude, like my sister-in-law, like, you know, like cousins, whoever, like they just like they did a bunch of shit for us, so it was super cool. And yeah, like the creative aspect of things, before Instagram switched the algorithm, I mean, we were posting photos, like pulling up to gyms, like studios, getting like 200 300 likes on pictures and shit, which back then was pretty, like for us, like coming from Herkimer, like seeing that type of hype was like kind of cool.
Yeah, especially
You know
for
what I
a
mean?
brand. Especially for a
Yeah.
brand.
Yeah. And then, you know, shit kind of like switched up and we were literally like rattled, like, damn. And like me, dude, like I'm not like a person that really likes to be like making like in the spotlight. Like I said, I'm more of a behind the scenes kind of person. So I struggled with that. You know what I mean? Like I struggled with like making like content of just me like with the clothes on and stuff. I'm like, this really isn't valuable to like, you know what I mean? Like it's really not.
Yeah.
So, you know, like Barton said, the podcast for sure was just a sure way for us to kind of like speak our thoughts, let people know who we are, what we think, what the brand's about, and then having people like you come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really helps solidify like what we're going for with the type of people that we have on here.
And now we're
awesome.
adding value. You know, people are getting to see what you're into and learn from you. And we could kind of, you know, people who are interested in real estate watching this, now they have someone they can look to, you know?
No, 100%. 100%. That's awesome. You guys kind of like got me fired up about the podcasting. Like I would love to do it. It's just like, are you guys happy, I guess, after you said this is episode 8, right?
This is 10.
This is 10. Holy fuck. Maybe I was watching 8 like earlier today or something. Either way, like, are you got 10
9 didn't
episodes
come out
in?
yet.
Okay. So are you guys happy you're still doing the podcast like at 10 episodes later? Like they're like, this is the shit. Like we want to keep doing this.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. Like me personally, dude, like I said, like with the whole clothing thing, like, you know, it was super fucking cool, but the value thing was like lacking. You know what I mean? And like it was just like, you know, like again, the authenticity part. Like I don't feel comfortable doing things that like I don't really agree with. Or not necessarily agree with, but like doesn't sit well with me. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, dude, people deserve more. Like, you know what I mean? If you're gonna be like a follower or tune into our shit, like you deserve to get some sort of value out of this shit. You know what I mean? I can sit here, he can sit here all day and make dope ass designs and like people will consume them, but like there needs to be more. You know what I mean? Like our slogan is it's more than clothing, it's a lifestyle. And like again, this whole thing is like really helping like, you know, I guess, form that sense of community and like what we're doing and like pushing the whole thing of like, dude, you really can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? So
100%, 100%, and that's what I love about it. Is because you guys started as a fucking clothing brand, and the next thing you know, you've got all these different things going on, and it's like, it's like exactly like you said, it's more than a clothing brand. It's an actual fucking community, and that's to me, like I think community's fucking awesome. So yeah, I'm your biggest fan. Let me put it like that. I live for shit like this.
Oh yeah, bro.
shit,
I gotta
dude,
get
that's
myself some
crazy.
gear. I keep telling myself I'm gonna like just go on there and dump money, but I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I always like put it to the back burner. I'll do it next week. I'll do it next week. It's like buying a new pair of shoes. You know, it's like, oh, I'll do it next week. I'll do it next week.
Nah, dude. I hear you, bro. No, for real. I mean, just having you come on, truly an honor, dude. Like I said, like you're fucking killing it, and like it's crazy. And
Yeah.
to think that it just came out of little Herkimer, New York.
Yeah.
So
it
you know what I
was,
mean?
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts, dude.
Well, dude, it's gonna be awesome. Hopefully, in like I don't know, maybe fucking couple years, like all three of us are like even more, I guess, intelligent and better at this than we are right now, and we can do this again and or maybe make it into a yearly thing. I don't fucking know, but either way, I'm excited to see what we all have in store.
Absolutely, brother,
Yes,
for
sir.
sure. Yeah, dude. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, you know, everything that we wanted to talk about. Anything else you want to throw in there?
No, dude, I'm sorry I asked you guys so many questions. I definitely kept you on. Was it like an hour and 5 minutes?
No,
No,
dude,
dude.
we loved
The more
I
the better,
dude.
bro.
Yeah, it was
Here
fucking
for it.
sick. Great
Yeah.
questions to ask. We really don't have people ever asking us questions. You're like the first